Hey guys, today I'm checking out 4 new for 2022 Kershaw knives. 2 of them are made in America Kershaws. First up is the Kershaw Federalist. It's a USA made slip joint with green canvas micarta. It kind of feels like the canvas micarta you might get on an Essie knife. It opens with a nail nick, and if you notice, it has a half stop, and then clicks into place when it's fully open. It's a non-locking knife. They call it a slip joint, but it's not a slip joint in the traditional sense that has a tension bar along the spine. This is a detent knife. But what's interesting is that they managed to mimic the feel of a traditional slip joint with tension and a half stop. I'm kind of curious how they did that. I'm thinking it must just be an extra tight pivot and then kind of another little detent there at the half stop. The steel is CPM 154, not to be confused with 154 CM. They are very similar, but CPM 154 is the powdered version of the same alloy, which is slightly superior and has better edge retention. It's a clip point style blade with a stonewash finish and a flat grind, with a blade thickness of 0.088 inches or 2.2 millimeters. It's a 3 1/4 inch blade, 4 1/4 inch handle, and 7.5 inches overall. And it weighs 2.2 ounces or 64 grams. These retail for about $108, and you know, for a Kershaw made in the USA with micarta and CPM 154, it's not a bad little knife. It definitely has kind of a traditional feel to it, but with a modern twist. It also has a unique pivot on this side. It kind of looks like a shield. Nice extra detail there. There's a GFN backspacer and a lanyard hole. And in hand, it's very comfortable. Extremely comfortable, actually. And if you haven't noticed, maybe that's due to the fact that there's no pocket clip. Kind of strange. And it's a thin handle, less than half an inch, 0.4 inches or 10 millimeters. Or 1 centimeter, I guess. But yeah, for me, it feels great in hand. What do you guys think about the Federalist? Kind of strange that there's no pocket clip, but this might be kind of a fun knife to make a custom sheath for, or maybe just a pocket dropper with a little lanyard, but I really like it. Alright, moving on. Next up is the Kershaw Launch 14. When I first saw pictures of this knife, I thought it was the goofiest looking knife I'd ever seen. Really strange looking knife, I think mostly because of the blade shape. Kind of a cleaver blade and on an automatic knife is a little bit weird, but I guess kind of cool. I will say though, after getting it in person, it doesn't look as weird as it did in the pictures. I think it's a little smaller than I had envisioned, and maybe that makes it look a little more normal. I was just picturing kind of like a gigantic cleaver auto. I do like it. Real quick though, one of my favorite in the Launch series is the Launch 11. Very cool auto from Kershaw, and this one is nice, especially if you like a smaller, lighter EDC. It weighs the same as the Federalist, like 2.1, 2.2 ounces. And it normally retails for $110 to $120, I think. But on White Mountain Knives, it's on sale right now for $103. So not a bad price. I have a discount code, by the way, at White Mountain Knives. SHARPAF, one word, will get you 10% off most knives. The Launch 14 retails for about $140 to $145. Also made in the USA with CPM 154 steel. And this one has a black wash finish and a cleaver blade. The handle is a 2-piece construction with gray anodized 6061 T6 aluminum and carbon fiber on the show side. There's a lanyard hole, and the pocket clip is tip up right or left side. It's not a true deep carry. There's going to be a little bit above your pocket, but some people prefer it that way. It makes it a little easier to pull out. We all know how hard that can be sometimes. There's also a titanium tube spacer. The blade is 3 3/8 of an inch, 4 3/8 inch handle, and 7 3/4 inches overall. The blade thickness is 0.12 inches or 3 millimeters, and it weighs 3.2 ounces or 90 grams. As far as the action goes, this thing fires really hard. Great deployment. There's no safety, by the way. And there is an issue on mine though. The lockup on mine, this is brand new by the way, the lockup is really hit and miss. Most of the time actually it does not lock up properly. And what I mean by that is the blade should be in a locked position after deployment to where you can't accidentally close it during use. And you should have to press the button to disengage the lock and close the knife. And if I hold the knife like this where the blade can fall backward on itself towards the stop pin, it locks up, usually. But if I hold it almost any other way or at an angle where the blade can fall back out, it doesn't lock up most of the time. It might be that it's firing so hard it kind of bounces back out and there's not a good enough mechanism to catch the blade. So that's kind of disappointing. One thing that's great about Kershaw though is their warranty, so I'll probably just send this into them and either have it fixed, or maybe they'll send me one that doesn't have this issue. I don't know. I haven't watched any other reviews on the Launch 14, so I don't know if this is a widespread issue or not, but I just wanted to make you aware of it. I was expecting a non-locking knife with the Federalist, not so much with the Launch 14. Next up, I've got two of Kershaw's new assisted openers, the Lithium and the Salvage. I know how some of you guys feel about these 8CR steel made in China assisted openers from Kershaw. Are there better knives out there? Yes. Are there better budget knives out there? Yes. But I've still got a soft spot for these types of Kershaws. They were some of my first knives, and I still think they're fun to carry once in a while, and obviously they're fairly inexpensive, like $40-45. I like the Lithium better out of these two, mostly because it's got a better shaped flipper tab for easier deployment. The Salvage's tab slopes down a little bit, and that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. It just makes it easier to slip off. Great deployment with the Lithium. Nice blade shape too. Reverse Tonto with a bead blast finish, and some bead blast on the steel portion of the handle as well, and black GFN on the top. It's a frame lock, by the way, with good lockup, about 50%, and the centering is good. It has a deep carry clip, right or left side. It kind of has a sci-fi vibe to it. It looks pretty cool, an interesting construction with the two handle materials, and I think with the bead blast finish on the blade and the reverse Tanto, it looks really nice. I'd have no shame carrying this, especially knowing it was only $40. 3 1/4 inch blade, 4 1/4 inch handle, and if you're following along, that's 7.5 inches overall. And it weighs 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. On to the Salvage. A lot of the specs here are the same. It's a frame lock, assisted opener, 8CR 13 MOV steel with a reverse Tonto blade shape. This one has a stonewash finish on the blade and olive green GFN overlays for added texture and grip. The GFN on this side acts as an over travel stop. And there's a back spacer and a deep carry clip that is tip up right side only. I do like the Salvage. Like I said though, the deployment is a little bit harder with that kind of slippery sloped flipper tab. You've got to be a little bit more deliberate with it. But it's not that bad. And the centering on this one is drifting off to the right. I haven't tried to adjust that yet. The blade is just under 3 inches. The handle is just under 4 inches. Overall 6.8 inches. And it weighs 3.4 ounces or 96 grams. There you have it, guys. 4 new Kershaw knives for 2022 and 1 bonus knife with the Launch 11. My favorite on the table is probably the Federalist, because it's something different. Not just more of the same, and it turned out really nice. Followed by the Launch 11, then the Lithium, then the Salvage, and in last place, the Launch 14, just because of the lockup issue we talked about. I know Kershaw just released part 2 of their 2022 lineup. I haven't really got a chance to look at any of those yet, but let me know in the comments which one of Kershaw's 2022 knives do you guys like the best, or is there something else you think I should take a look at? I would sure appreciate it if you guys would like and subscribe. That's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching.